All righty. I'd call the meeting to order for Monday, April 20th, 2026. Please rise for the pledge. Let's pray. Dear Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to meet here tonight. Father, we just thank you for your many blessings. I ask that you be with those that are fighting for our country and be with those that work for the city and all that they do. Father, we just ask that you be with those that are sick and hurting. Watch over us. Forgive us of our sins. In your name we pray. Amen. Next item on agenda, roll call. Please show all present but Dennis Moody. We have a quorum and can conduct business. Public comment, nobody requested to speak tonight under the public comment section. However, at this time, I'd like to recognize Miss Lisa Slayback. She's 8th grade social studies teacher at Dyersburg Middle School, and she's got student members of the Junior American Citizens Club. If y'all want to stand up and be recognized. Thank y'all for coming. We appreciate you being here. Thank you. Next item on the agenda. Approval of the minutes. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes from April 6, 2026. Motion from Edward. Mr. Baltimore, second from Coach Cole. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Under new business, first item, resolution 0402026, resolution authorizing and approving execution of a equipment lease purchase agreement with Arvis Bank for the purpose of lease purchasing certain equipment. This is for the solid waste department. We have approved this in budget meetings, and this is Greg. This is Greg here? Okay, all right, good. Okay, and we do a resolution for this. We've done that in the past. Anybody have any questions about this?
Is this a garbage truck or a knuckle-bone garbage truck?
Any other questions? I didn't entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
Motion. Second.
Have a motion from Joey, a second from Ricky Hammond. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, local government committee meeting minutes, March 23rd, 2026. Chairwoman Vanetta Webb. Ms. Webb?
Local Government Committee met on Monday, March the 23rd, 2026. Those present on the committee were Mayor Holden, Alderman Harrison, and myself. Alderman Baltimore was not able to be present. Others present were Alderman Burks and Crawford, and City Code Inspector Thomas Mullins, and applicant Shane Nisley. We elected a chairperson, and then Mr. Nisley presented his proposal for raising a hens-only backyard chicken coop for the purpose of household egg production, and Alderman Harrison made a motion to send the request to the city attorney for research into the possibility of creating an ordinance to allow laying hens. Mayor Holden seconded, and all voted in favor, and then we adjourned.
Okay, any questions? All right, next item on the agenda, Finance Committee meeting minutes from April 15th. Chairman Edward Burks.
The Finance Committee met Wednesday, April the 15th. Committee members present included Burks, Moody, Webb, and Holden. Others attending the meeting were Treasurer Steve Anderson, Alderman Crawford, and Katie Little with CRS CPAs. I called the meeting to order. Katie Little presented the audit for the year ended June 30th, 2025. Treasurer Anderson noted the city's total net position was $141,268,565. This was an increase of $4,934,400 from fiscal year 2024. Government funds increased by $4,550,354, while business type activities increased by $384,046. There was one finding noted in the report. It involved expenditures being greater than budgeted appropriations in the insurance reserve and debt service funds. The insurance reserve fund budget was amended in June 2025, but higher than expected claims received in July resulted in the expenditures being more than the amended budget amount. The refunding of school bonds issued in 2013 resulted in additional revenues and expenditures of $7,856,870 in the debt service fund. The city is in good financial standing, and the audit is available on the City of Dyersburg's webpage. No further business, the meeting adjourned.
All right, thank you. Anybody have any questions about the minutes? All right, next item on the agenda, bids, Debbie Harris, last page of your agenda. Both of these do not require a motion as it was done during the budget amount VCIF grant. First one, Police Department, 22 additional sky cop enclosures, cameras, and database. Budget amount, bid was awarded to Sky Cop, $266,314. And then number 2, Police Department 5, police radar systems for new patrol cars. That also was a budgeted item through the VCIF grant. Stalker radar applied concepts was the low bidder, $10,225. Awarded the bid to them in that amount. Any questions about these two? All right, hearing none. Next item on the agenda is the appeal hearing before the Board of Mayor and Alderman regarding the termination of William Warner. Mr. Warner is here tonight. Are you represented by counsel, Mr. Warner? No? Okay. Before we start, let me read this before we start tonight. The board's function tonight is a civil service board. In this instant, the Board of Mayor and Alderman will be functioning as a civil service board rather than a legislative body of the city. Under the applicable Tennessee laws, contested cases involving the employment status of a municipal employee are conducted in conformity with the contested case procedures under a law known as Uniform Administrative Procedures Act, UAPA. Under the UAPA, the board's standard of review is limited to determining whether there is substantial and material evidence to support the decision of the supervisor. The board may not substitute its judgment for that of the supervisor. If this board determines that there exists substantial and material evidence to support Mr. Hunter's decision to terminate Mr. Warner's employment, the board should sustain the decision. On the other hand, if the city fails to demonstrate that there was a substantial and material evidence to support Mr. Warner's termination, the board should reinstate Mr. Warner's employment. So wanted to read that tonight, how this board acts tonight. And Peyton, I guess you're up. This is Peyton Butler, City Attorney's Office. Christine Coronado is here as well from the City Attorney's Office. Ms. Butler?
Mayor, I'm sorry, before we get started, do you think Mr. Ball could sit somewhere else? We can give Mr. Warner a place to sit and spread out papers if he needs to? Would that be all right?
Sure.
No, I'm gonna move.
I asked so nicely.
You want to get Moody's seat? You want to do that? He wasn't represented. She represented? She both of us. He doesn't have one. Okay, Ms. Butler.
Good evening, members of the board. As the mayor said, we are here today to hear the appeal of Mr. William Warner. Mr. William Warner was terminated from his employment duties at the gas department. On February 7th, 2026, there was a grade 1 gas leak in downtown Dyersburg, causing a shutdown service of several businesses. All of the gas employees were called in, with the exception of one sick employee and one employee still in training. Everyone reported, except for Mr. Warner, the construction crew foreman. The rules of Tennessee Regulatory Authority Chapter 1220.4.5 provides regulations for gas companies. These rules classify the severity of gas leaks, with the most severe being a grade 1. The action required for a grade 1 leak is it shall require corrective action which shall consist of immediate effort to protect life and to protect property, and continuous action until the condition is no longer hazardous and scheduled for immediate daily repair activity. The gas leak that occurred on February 7th, 2026, called for an immediate effort to protect life and property. This is exactly why Mr. Warner's failure to answer the call is critical and ultimately was fatal to his employment with the city of Dyersburg. Mr. Warner failed to answer his city-issued cell phone, provided to him by the city in his role as construction crew foreman. This phone was called by Mike Hunter, superintendent, Tyler Hammett, assistant superintendent, and Keith Henson, the service technician on call the afternoon of February 7th, 2026. Mr. Warner did not return any of the 3 missed calls to his city-issued cell phone. In fact, Mr. Warner was not heard from until he reported to work on Monday, February 9th, 2026. Ms. Sue Teague, our Director of Human Resources, launched an investigation, interviewed several employees, consulted with Mr. Mike Hunter, superintendent of the gas department, and the decision was made that Mr. Warner needed to be terminated due to the underlying threat of loss of the human life or significant property damage in downtown Dyersburg. We are here today asking you to sustain that decision. Thank you.
Mr. Warner?
All right. Mayor, Alderman. They said I got phone calls. I never received them. I was out of town at a funeral. When they were told that Monday morning, let's back up. I didn't find out until Sunday that there was a gas leak when I talked to another employee. Miss Sue asked me if I seen it on Facebook. Is that how you really want to notify? I do have a city cell phone, I was never told I had to keep it on me 24/7. I was not told until that Monday morning that I was on call 24/7. I was not. You'll hear otherwise, but it didn't happen. Like I said, when I told them I was at a funeral out of town, I was told, don't matter, don't care. And that's just not good at all. I do have a packet that I would happily give each and every one of you of my appeal letter and the stuff that happened. It said Miss Sue called a meeting with me. She did not. I was there in the parking lot before she got there, as other people contest. My phone was checked that Sunday, and there were no calls on it. No missed calls at all. I had a personal phone on me that they did not call. When I asked them, did you call my personal phone? I was told, we don't have to. They have called it, and I've got call logs to show you. Several times by Mr. Hunter and Tyler Hammett called my personal phone while I was at work during business hours. So why they couldn't call it then, I don't know. But they would have, and if it's that bad of an emergency, I believe I'd have called every number I had for every employee that I needed. They said that has to be fixed or repaired every day. It was not repaired that day. It was not repaired the next day. It wasn't repaired till later in the week when contractors come in. So it was not repaired like the state said it was supposed to be, and they're going to argue that it was. It was not. So it'll go from here. There's other things in the letter we're going to discuss as far as Miss Sue's letter. And I do have the packet of that letter and my appeal letter if y'all would like to have it.
Sure, that's fine. And I think the attorneys would want one as well, I believe, city attorneys. Thank you. Thank you.
We're ready to call our witnesses.
Okay, sure.
And this, I gave this to the board, so I can give you a copy as well. All right, our first witness we would like to call is Miss Sue Teague.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do.
All right, please state your name for the record.
Sue Teague.
And are you employed with the City of Dyersburg as the Director of Human Resources? All right, on or about February 9th, 2026, did you start an investigation into Mr. Warner?
Yes.
All right, who all did you interview in that investigation?
Pretty much all of the gas department employees. I talked with Mr. Hunter, who is the superintendent. I talked with Tyler Hammett, who's the assistant superintendent. I talked with Keith Henson, who was on call that weekend. I talked with Mark Maupin, who works in the department. I talked with Cody Beasley, who also works in the department. And I talked with Alan Attaway and Cordell Robertson. And then I talked with Justin Hearn, who was fairly new in the department. And I talked with Miss Donna Hicks, who is the secretary.
Tell me your findings of that investigation.
Basically, that there was a major gas leak, and they tried to contact Mr. Warner to come in, since he is the crew leader and foreman over the gas department, and he failed to answer his call to come in. All the other gas employees answered their personal cell phones, and they all came in, except for one who was sick and one who was a trainee, who would not have been necessary to come in at that particular time to help.
Okay. So in the scope of your investigation, did you pull this call log for Mr. Warner's city-issued cell phone that shows an incoming call from Mr. Hammett's phone at 4:19 p.m. on the 7th? Okay. I'd like to make this Exhibit 7. I only have one copy, though. I'm happy to pass this around.
See it, that's it back.
And that's all I have for this witness. I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Mr. Warner?
Miss Sue. The morning that I was suspended, I come down there and told you that it was just what had happened, and I showed you the call log where Hunter had always called my personal phone if he couldn't get me on the city phone. Did I not?
I don't remember seeing the call log,
Yeah,
but,
showed it to you on my phone.
okay, maybe you did.
Oh, I did.
don't remember that. It
Um,
wasn't a call log, it was,
When I morning I come told you what happened, I told you that it was a straw that broke the camel's back. And I told you about Mr. Hunter's behavior and the way he's been doing everyone at work.
you mentioned that.
I did.
Mr.
Why
Warner, we're here to discuss your case, nothing else, okay?
this is my case.
Okay. Well, I don't know what you meant when you said what he's been doing at work and things like that.
Well, it's-
Does that lead to what you're,
Yes, that's the reason I went down there when I was suspended. I took and took and took till I couldn't take no more. And like I said, I've got proof of that. And other employees saying the same thing.
okay, you can continue question.
Why did you not ask anyone about Mr. Hunter and the stuff that I told you?
Again, Mr. Warner, we're not here to discuss Michael Hunter.
This involves Mr. Hunter, and we're gonna tie it all in shortly, I promise you.
Again, it's not about Mr. Hunter, okay? It's about your appeal.
Did I show you the call log where Mr. Hunter had called my phone
You showed me where he had called your personal phone before.
at work? And if y'all look in your packets, you'll see copies of that. Are they in the packets? Where he called my phone. Everyone there has called my personal phone. At some instance, we're talking about couldn't get a hold of me. Wouldn't call my personal phone. I was told they didn't have to. If it's that big of a safety risk, and I hope everybody would agree, I would call every number I had on every person I needed to get them there. Would that not be right?
They had a major gas leak. They didn't have time to do a lot of calling, in my opinion.
There was a lot of people standing there. I've got testimony, and you'll hear later where there are people standing around.
You had a city-paid
Yes, ma'am.
cell phone.
Yes, ma'am.
The other ones did not.
Okay, they were called on their personal phone.
Right, but you're
What
the
I'm-
one who had the city cell phone.
What I'm
That's
saying
the reason they called your city
You
cell
can't
phone.
call my city phone, and he's done it several times. Call my personal phone, get a hold of me. Why couldn't he do it then? If it's that bad of a major gas leak where everybody's in imminent peril, I would call every number I had, get people there I needed. And when he was asked if someone wanted to call me again, he said no.
Can't testify to that.
I can. And we will later. And I have another appeal tomorrow with the state. There's a certain form I'm supposed to receive within 24 hours of my termination. You aware of that?
A separation notice, I guess, but what kind of form?
The state specifies the form.
If people ask for it, I give it to them, but we
that's
gave you a
something the state-
letter. We paid you for 9 days to
That's got nothing to do with me getting paid. That's what the state says you have to give me within 24 hours.
okay?
Would y'all like to see it? you'll read in the dismissal letter that I was given, he talked about my conduct. He can talk about my conduct and we can't talk about his? In the same place of business?
You're asking me a question?
Yes, sir.
We're here for your appeal. We're not talking about anybody else's conduct or anything like that. We're here to discuss your appeal, Mr. Warner.
All right, he can, okay, all right. I was unfairly terminated. Like I said, at the day this happened, I was out of town at a funeral. You know, one of my best friends was burying his daddy. Don't know if y'all been through that, but you need people to lean on. I went to visitation, I went to the funeral, I went to the graveyard, then I went back to his house. It takes a while. And like I said, I'm sorry, that's one of my best friends. I'm not gonna run when he needs a shoulder. But I never was contacted. They've called my personal phone several
Mr. Warner,
times.
this is now getting into argument. Do you have any more questions for Ms.
No,
T?
Miss Sue, you can sit down, Miss Sue, I'm sorry.
Then you go ahead and sit down, let the city put on their proof, and you will get your chance.
Yep.
All right, I'd like to call my second witness,
Okay.
Mr. Mike Hunter. Just as a reminder, this is the portion of the hearing where we're questioning our witnesses. There'll be time for closing arguments at the end. All right, please state your name for the record.
Michael Hunter.
Are you employed by the city of Dyersburg? Oh, sorry.
Yes, sir. Raise your right hand. You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Please state your name for the record.
Michael Hunter.
Are you employed with the city of Dyersburg as the superintendent of the gas department?
Yes, ma'am.
On or about February 7th, 2026, did you become aware of a gas leak in downtown Dyersburg?
I did.
How did you become aware of that?
Standby personnel called me when he arrived on the scene and realized that he had a major problem.
All right, and who was the standby personnel?
That would be Keith Henson.
Okay. Walk me through what happened after finding out about the leak.
Finding out about the leak, the first one to come on the scene was Assistant Superintendent Tyler Hammett and help him determine that it was a grade 1 leak. That's when we started calling employees in.
Okay. When you say, can you please describe for the board what a grade 1 leak is?
Grade 1 leak is considered anything under the blacktop where there's blacktop wall to wall where the gas migrates to the foundation of the building, which is exactly what we had. We had gas readings up under the foundations of the building off of the square in Dyersburg.
What is standard protocol in the gas department for an emergency leak over the weekend?
We can call as many people in as you need to help.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
And, of course, this leak not getting fixed that day, according to the law, it says that leak must be fixed or downgraded. We downgraded the leak to a grade 2, which means it has to be scheduled for repair. By shutting the gas off, and by doing that, we lost 3 city blocks.
Okay. Can you describe to the board the consequences of what could happen from a grade 1 leak if no employees answered the call and reported to work?
When you see the buildings exploding on the evening news where the bricks are out in the street, the roof's off the building, and that's what a grade 1 leak leads to.
Can you describe to me, whenever you reported to the scene of this leak, were you just, what were you doing as in calling out people, or were you getting to work? What was going on?
Everybody pretty much made it there by the time I did. The crew had started digging on it. By the time I arrived on the scene, they said they got a hold of everybody but Bubba, so I attempted to call him on his phone too, no answer.
Okay. All right, so just to reiterate that, did you call Mr. Warner?
I did call Mr. Warner.
On his personal or city-issued cell phone?
City-issued phone, which by taking the job up for him, you're given the phone, you're expected to return the call or answer it for emergency service.
Okay. Of the gas department employees, how many other employees did respond to the call?
I believe it was 8 people that showed up. It was everybody except 1 sick employee and 1 trainee.
Okay. And how many of the people that did show up have city-issued cell phones in the department?
Me, Tyler Hammond, and whoever's on standby.
Okay. Okay. And why is Mr. Warner one of those people with a city-issued cell phone?
Because he is our construction foreman. He's considered third in line. It's most important to be on the job.
Okay. Is it a known responsibility of the construction crew foreman to take their city-issued cell phone home with them?
It is. That's why we had another city employee with much more experience than Mr. Warner. It turned the job down. He had medical conditions, and he did not want to have to carry the phone with him all the time and respond.
Okay, and has that responsibility been discussed multiple times verbally?
Several times. I know when he first took the job, it was told to him that that was part of the job.
Okay. On or about February 9th, 2026, did you meet with Mr. Warner? That would have been that Monday.
Yes.
Okay. What happened at that meeting?
I just said, well, ask him why he didn't answer it, and I was told he didn't even carry his cell phone home with him that weekend, that it was on his desk.
Okay. Were you having issues with Mr. Warner's attitude or behavior at work prior to this? Okay, can you provide me some examples for the board?
We've had at least 2 employees quit the gas department because they could not get along with him. Number of employees complained about him. He'd go out on jobs with them. He wouldn't help them do the work unless me or Tyler one was on the scene, and then he would work. They'd all complain about having to do everything because they were out there with him.
Okay, and so for the times that you've had to call his personal cell phone, is there a correlation there as to the responsibility of carrying that city-issued cell phone?
Yeah, see, I mean, he should have it on in the daytime, should have never had to call his personal phone, but he wouldn't answer the city cell phone, he wouldn't answer the radio. We tried to call him on the radio, and those times we weren't in emergency situations, so we would go ahead and try to call him on his personal phone, and I have done that several times.
Okay. And after the investigation was included, why did you decide to terminate Mr. Warner?
You know, we're in public safety, and if he's not willing to show up when we have an emergency like that, then he really don't need to be on the gas department. We're here to keep the citizens safe, and we need people that are dedicated to that cause.
Thank you. I pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Mr. Warner?
You said that I didn't take my cell phone home that weekend.
That's what you told me.
No, I did not. No, I did not. I never told you that. I said I didn't have it with me at the
Warner,
funeral.
Mr. Warner, one at a time, okay? We have a court reporter.
You told me that you left it on your desk, you didn't carry it home that weekend.
No, I didn't.
You say you didn't, I say you
I
did.
say I did, and I know I did, and I have proof I didn't.
You have a recorder on you when you was in there?
No, woman sitting right there.
May I speak?
Was she in the office with us?
No, she was at my house and she said.
Mr. Warner, Mr. Warner,
Talking about the meeting we had. Oh, she may say that you had it home with you. I'm saying that you told me you left it on your desk that
Mr.
weekend.
Warner, if we could just keep this with you asking questions of the witness, and also for you, Mr. Hunter, please don't ask him questions, just answer his questions.
Yes,
And if you wanna call, your wife to testify later, that's perfectly
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Remember, we have a court reporter.
I'm sorry, dear. No, I never told you I did not take my phone home. I said my phone was on the dresser. I didn't have it with me at the funeral. That's what I told you. That he-
Mr. Warner, there will be a time for that in closing arguments. We're just asking questions, if you don't mind.
Like I said you've called my personal phone several times.
during the day I have, yes.
And you've called it on weekends too.
I'm not gonna deny that I didn't, but never in a situation where we had gas.
If it's that important, like I said, wouldn't you call every number you had for every person you needed to be there?
We were in a hurry to get the gas shut off before something tragic happened.
You're in that big a hurry, so you didn't get there for 3-4 hours after you were called.
We're responsible to answer your city-issued phone.
All right, you said that I was on call 24/7.
No, sir.
Yes, you did.
You are expected to answer emergency service calls 24/7, as
Okay.
is every department, every person in the gas department.
No one ever told me, for one, that I had to have that phone on me 24/7.
Mr. Warner, if you just ask the questions, we'll have time for closing later, okay?
Was I ever told that I was on call 24/7?
You're not on call 24/7. You are expected to respond to emergency service calls, as is every employee in the gas
But
department.
I was never told if they reached. Right?
Yes, if they're weeks, then you had a city issue cell phone that you're supposed to be answering.
So I mean, if you wouldn't call, you wouldn't use every avenue at your expense to get help there if you needed it, right or wrong?
We called your city issue cell phone that
Not what I asked you. Remember, he asked, answer the questions. Would you not use every avenue at your expense to get someone there if they're needed?
I felt like we did.
You didn't call my personal phone.
I did not.
Thank you.
All right, we'd like to call our third witness, which is Mr. Tyler Hammett. All right, please state your name for the record.
Tyler Hammett.
Are you employed by the city of Dyersburg as the Assistant Superintendent of the Gas Department?
Yes.
On or about February 7th, 2026, did you become aware of a gas leak in downtown Dyersburg?
Yes.
How did you become aware of that?
Keith Henson called me and said that he had a leak downtown and I asked him, I said, how bad is it? I said, what do you think you got? And he told me, and I said, well, I'll be down in a minute. So when I got down there, me and him knocked some holes. I seen that it was getting under a building. So then that's when I made a call that it was a grade 1.
Walk me through what happened after finding out about the grade 1 level.
I just got to calling everybody. I got to calling people, and then I had to call 811. I had to call Water Sewer Department. I had to call the Electric Department. And then time I went through all them people, getting all them down there and getting stuff marked, by then the equipment was there, so I jumped on the backhoe and went to digging.
So what I'm hearing from you, and just confirm this with a yes or no, is that you made necessary phone calls, spoke with people to call them in. By that time that you were done calling the numerous amounts of people you had to call, the equipment was there and it was time to get to work.
Yes.
Did you call Mr. Warner?
Yes.
Did you call him on his city-issued cell phone or his personal cell phone?
City issue phone.
Okay. Can you reiterate the importance of responding to emergencies?
I mean, grade 1, that's the worst as bad as it gets. It's life or death for the public. So that's why I got the water department down there, got the electric department down there, because by that time I didn't have 2 hours to wait. I need to know where the utilities was where I could get to digging.
And just something to clarify for the board, are grade 1 leaks common?
No.
Okay, and what would you say was the last time there was a grade 1 leak in Dyersburg?
Oh, Lord. Without looking at my paperwork,
Just a rough guess.
you asking something,
But so from this, it's been years.
well, like I say, without looking at my paper, my records, and what we have, I'd be just guessing.
Okay,
A year or two.
that's fine. Okay. And so something that we discussed is that this is important and all the gas employees know that they have this responsibility to answer emergency calls. Is that correct?
Yes.
And have you reiterated that to these guys many times?
Many times.
I pass the witness.
Thank you. Ms. Butler, here's your exhibit, if you want that. We've all looked at it. Thank you. Mr. Warner?
On that day in question, Tyler, were you asked if you wanted someone to call me again?
Yes.
What'd you say?
I said, no, it's not your responsibility.
Did you try to call me again?
No.
So one,
Because I was in the process of calling up the electric department, water department, 811, all that.
if something's, so when you're there, you're assistant superintendent, you are over the job site, right?
Yes.
If you see something or know something needs to be done, and you wasn't able to do it, wouldn't you ask someone else to do it?
As far as making phone, no, not making phone calls.
Anything. If it's that big of an emergency, wouldn't you want all the people there that you could have
Yeah, that's why I was calling everybody.
once?
Yeah,
How many times you call 811?
twice.
How many times you call me?
The reason why I called 811 twice is because I can't dig legally without it. So I did call them twice,
How long do you have to wait to dig?
2 hours.
Didn't you just say you called everybody else because you didn't have the time to wait, you started digging?
Yes.
So you was digging illegally, right?
I got the water department down there, I got the electric department down there, because I knew that those was the main things. Everything else, and the electric's aerial downtown, but I called them anyway to get everybody down there. As far as the phone goes, I was taking my chance. I had gas under a building. If I hit a phone line, I just hit a phone line.
All right, you just said you had gas under a building. Were the readings not getting lower, going closer to the building? Careful.
No. Nothing.
Sure.
I only had it under one spot in one building.
It wasn't getting lower. Or when it was rechecked, did it not go down?
It's still a grade 1 leak if you got gas under a building. I don't care if it's what it is.
So there was gas under the building?
Yes, at the corner of the building. Yes, it was. It was migrating on the building. Yes.
Okay. On the morning that you and Mr. Hunter suspended me, y'all asked for my phone, right?
He did.
Were you not in there?
I was in there.
All right. Did you not tell me I was on call? No, let me take that back. Did you not tell me that everybody in the city was on call 24/7?
Pretty much.
Oh, so you did tell me we're on call
Well, I
24/7.
don't remember. I'm not gonna, I could have, because I mean, you got water leaks, you got gas leaks, you got tornadoes, so everybody gets called in for each department, yeah. I mean,
Everybody's on call 24/7. Are you aware that in the state of Tennessee, if you tell someone they're on call, they have to be compensated?
I don't know about that.
All right. In our on-call rotation, which is a 7-day event
Yeah.
every so often,
Yeah.
are we not compensated for being on call?
Yeah.
So,
But that's not emergency. That's not an emergency call. I mean, that's just standard routine by federal code we gotta do.
okay, who calls?
EOC,
What's EOC stand for?
Emergency Operating Center.
So it's not emergency call, but you're getting it from EOC.
It's not an emergency call until I determine it's an emergency.
What if you're
Or
not
Hunter
called?
or whoever.
What if Hunter's not called? They call one of y'all before they call that on-call phone?
They call the guy on standby.
So that's the emergency call, right?
Yes. But not all calls are considered emergencies.
But it's on call.
Yes.
So that's that 7-day event in every rotation, you're compensated for 5 hours of overtime pay for that time, right?
Standby man, yeah.
Unless you go over. That's the on-call phone.
Yes, it stays with the on-call truck.
Person on call. Yet you say everybody in the city is on call 24/7, right?
Well, they are, I don't know how to put it. I mean, yeah, I gotta have guys to work.
Okay. You gotta have guys to work. Never said I wouldn't come in if I got called, have I? Have you
I
ever?
called and you didn't answer the phone.
That's right. You didn't reach me, did you?
No.
Have I ever not come in when I was reached?
I don't remember ever having to call you in, but maybe once prior to that.
What was that? What was that for? Do you remember?
House fire in Jenkinsville.
Did I come in?
Yeah,
Was it late at night?
yeah, 9 o'clock
Did you get a hold of me?
on the city cell phone.
I don't know if it's city cell phone.
It was
or
city
not. I
cell
don't
phone.
remember.
It was city cell phone.
If you needed that much help, wouldn't you call, like I said a while ago, use every avenue you had to get that help there?
To be honest with you, I was making too many calls, and I was one on the backhoe digging.
All right? Once again, if you seen something that needed to be done and you couldn't do,
I'm not gonna
wouldn't you
keep
ask
calling somebody
else
over
to
and
do
over and over, no, I'm not gonna do
it?
it.
Over and over and over is more than once.
I'm not gonna do it. I ain't got time to do that.
So you call one time and that's it.
I tell you, I called one time. The guys got down there, they said, "Where's Bubba?" I said, well, I've called him, he didn't answer the phone. They said, well, you're wasting your time. So no, I didn't call back.
How many times did you call 811?
Twice. Done told you that.
Okay, the day that I got suspended, you and Mr. Hunter took my company phone from me, right?
Mr. Hunter did.
Okay, did he take my keys?
I don't know about that.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Okay, he didn't.
All right, y'all were more interested in my keys. Why wouldn't you want my keys?
I don't want him. He's the superintendent.
Why do you think he would want them?
That's just, they do that. I mean, we've always just, we pull people's keys.
Okay, can I redirect that question to Mr. Hunter?
Anita,
Oh, I mean,
I don't think so, Mr. Warner.
we pull city keys because you have keys for gate stations that is federal offense if something happens to them. So they pull all the keys.
And he asked for mine almost 3 weeks later.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
You was in the office with him, were you not?
Yeah, but you're telling me he pulled them 3 weeks later. I didn't know that.
Did you see him pull them the morning that I was in the office with y'all?
Wasn't in there all the time, but no, I
He
didn't
was
see
in
it.
there until I left.
No, because I went to my office and come back while you was in there.
He was in there before I got in there, Mr.
Yeah, I was in there. But I left while you was in there.
Let's keep it to the questions, okay?
Okay, are you aware that he didn't ask for my keys? that
No, I'm
day?
not aware of that.
Okay, do you think it was a safety risk for me to have those keys after I was,
I thought he pulled them. I thought you already turned them in.
do you think it's a safety risk for me to have those keys after I was suspended?
Of course.
Do you think Mr. Hunter was wrong in not taking those keys?
If he didn't take them right then I'd probably say yeah.
Would you think he was wrong for waiting for over 3 weeks to take them?
If he didn't pull them that day, then yeah. I mean, that's obvious.
Thank you.
I have some further questions.
Okay.
All right, so I would like to give you the opportunity to explain to me the difference between having the standby person there and what happens whenever there is a grade 1 leak that is an emergency. You cannot leave the scene until you fix it. Are they expected to fix that themselves, or are the gas department employees known, hey, if we have an emergency, you're going to have to come in and you will be compensated for that time?
Yes, you're compensated for coming in, yes.
Okay, and so this grade 1 leak that we had, can you explain to the board just how big it was, how many valves it involved? Could all that work be done by one person on call?
It involves 6 valves, I believe. We lost everything from Dave's Cafe all the way around to where Patterson Brothers Garage used to be.
And so if one person had to do that, it's impossible.
You can't, yeah, it's impossible.
Okay,
I mean,
that's all I have.
You got,
Thank you.
Can I go back, Mayor?
I believe so, yes.
Mr. Hammond?
Mhm.
That would be an impossible job for one person to do, right?
Yes.
Did y'all have enough people there to get it done?
Yes. Well, we had enough to get it downgraded, yes, so yes.
Okay, so y'all had enough people there to get done what you
We
needed
may
done?
do what I had, yes.
Okay. And I'm not trying to confuse y'all with the on-call phone and the city phone, I'm not. On-call is a rotation we do that everybody is trained.
We're not confused about it.
Okay. And I would, like I said, Mr. Hammond attested that I will come in if I'm reached. Like I said, I was at a funeral.
Mr. Warner, you can do that in closing, okay?
All right.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
They're gonna hate closing.
All right, we'd like to call our fourth witness, which is Keith Henson.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right, please state your name for the record.
Keith Henson.
Are you employed by the city of Dyersburg as a service technician of the gas department? On or about February 7th, 2026, did you become aware of a gas leak in downtown Dyersburg?
I did.
How did you become aware of that?
We use a technique we call bar holding. You drive it in the ground. We got a CGI or gas indicator. I poke in the ground to measure your gas.
Okay. And were you the first person to become aware of this?
Yes.
Okay, and why is that?
I'm on call. I got the call.
Okay, so can you describe to me your role in this as the standby person?
COC called me out. It's shortly after 2 o'clock. I got there. It took me about an hour to pinpoint it. And once I did, I started checking toward the buildings. And the readings got a little smaller, but I got one beside the building. I called Tyler in. And when they close that building, it's time to dig.
What is the potential hazard of a grade 1 leak if left untreated?
Well, they spoke about it. It could be bad.
And do you have a obligation by the statutes and regulations with grade 1 leaks to give immediate attention?
Absolutely.
Okay. And did you call Mr. Warner on his city-issued cell phone? Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Warner?
Did you say you did call me that night? On which phone?
Your city phone.
Why wouldn't you call my personal phone?
I was told not to.
You was told not to.
I said, let me call him on the cell. I started calling other folks.
All right. Have you not used other avenues to get in touch with me in the past besides my city phone? You've called my phone. You've even called my wife's phone to get a hold of me. So if you need somebody, you call every number you can to get them, right? Was the gas going up or down getting closer to the building?
It was getting lighter.
What was that?
Getting lighter.
So it was going down. Your first reading at the building, I believe you said you got a 0.5, right?
That's bad. It's when
What
it
was the
goes-
next one?
I don't remember what it was.
0.
I don't remember.
I have you telling me that.
I don't
You said it was 100% at the manholes and the valve. Was that not correct? So 100% there, you said it's going down, getting closer to the building.
Well, you gotta think it's about 30, 40 foot from where I pinpointed the leak.
Okay. Was it getting lighter going to the building?
Well, you can only go so far. When I got a reading against that building, it's grade 1.
Okay,
I
what
don't know
was it?
what's under there.
And the second time you took it, you said it was 0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Those are all the witnesses we want to put on time.
Okay.
You can call his witnesses if he has them.
Mr. Warner, you have any witnesses? No?
1.
Okay.
My wife, Kathy.
What is,
Just go stand up first.
Ma'am, have a seat right here. You'll raise your right hand.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Miss Warner, this is my wife. I'm gonna be cordial. Kathy, on the weekend in question, when I was gone to the funeral, where was my city work phone?
On your dresser?
Is that in hearing distance of you
Yes, sir.
all day? Never left. Did you hear it ring?
Possibly, but then whenever we looked at the phone, when we found out that there was a leak on the
Next
7th,
day.
we found out on the 8th that there was a leak. Do you want me to explain how we found out there was a leak?
And if you need to.
Was calling a tenant that actually works for the gas department who was renting a house from my employer. And I work for Jason Creasy. I'm his personal assistant. I manage his property. Cody Beasley was renting a property. I was trying to contact Cody Beasley to get my rent because Cody was getting behind already. Cody would not answer my phone. So I get my husband's phone, it's on speaker, Cody answers it. I explained to Cody, I needed my rent, etc., whatever. He says, "Where's Bubba?" I said, "He's right here, standing right beside me." He proceeds to tell Bubba that it's gonna be a crap day at work Monday, and that's how we actually found out that there was a leak. So, we both go to the bedroom, get the cell phone, open it up. There was not a missed call on that phone from no city employee at all. The only thing that was on there was spam call, spam, potential spam, I think it said actually. But there was no calls. We live in Findlay. Sometimes you can get service, sometimes you move up off the couch and it drops the call. All of our friends and family actually know that. I had COVID in 21. I was diagnosed with functional movement disorder from long COVID. So when I have episodes of what I call them, well, I was having an episode. I was in bed with my cell phone in my bedroom, my personal cell phone. My sister tried to contact me. A coworker, Brenda Smith, tried to contact me. I didn't know. They were in my bedroom because didn't get service. So I was like, "What are you guys doing in my bedroom?" 10 minutes later, I'm finally getting text messages after they were standing in my bedroom to check on me. There was no missed calls on that phone call. I wished I would have took a picture of it, but I did not. But that is how we actually found out about the gas leak. And I have it on our Verizon from that month, where I attempted to call Cody from my phone, called Bubba's from Bubba's phone, and it was a 10-minute conversation. And that's how we actually found out that there was the leak.
Thank you.
Ms. Butler, you have any questions?
I don't have any questions for her.
Okay, all right, thank you. So we're ready for the closing?
No more witnesses?
No, that's it. Ms. Christine.
All right.
Mayor, I think with the city, what Ms. Butler's planning on doing, so as I understand the testimony, Mr. Mayor, there's a dispute about how many times he was called on the city cell phone. I think his wife just testified there weren't any calls. We've already submitted one call log that shows a call to his cell phone. I believe there's 2 more in the file. So we're just gonna submit those because the testimony that this board heard is that 3 city employees called Mr. Warner on his city-issued cell phone. So we're not gonna have another witness come up, but I think Ms. Butler is, looking for that. We weren't planning on, obviously, we weren't planning
I had them in my hand and then I put them away.
on submitting it as an exhibit, but if you'll indulge us for just a minute, she'll find that. That way the board can see the proof of that. And
Okay.
then- Mayor, can we ask for like a 5-minute recess?
Sure, yeah, 5-minute recess. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. And then this is Mike's call.
It's not been in the school.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, they were stuck in the notebook. So I have one that I'd like to introduce as an exhibit, and this is the outgoing call from Mike Hunter's city issued cell phone. And then another I would like to enter is the call log from the standby phone calling the city issued cell phone.
It's called coming in close.
We're on for a 5-minute recess.
Okay, yeah. You ready?
Sorry.
That's all right. We're good. So you have, say that again for the record, if we weren't on.
So we have produced for evidence, exhibit, I don't even know what number we're at right now. Okay. One is the call log from Mike Hunter's city issued cell phone calling the city issued cell phone issued to Mr. Warner. And then the other one is the standby cell phone's call log calling Mr. Warner's city issued cell phone.
Okay.
Mayor, she spoke, can I?
I just submitted that to evidence. I can do closing argument whenever.
Yeah, I think we're ready for
Okay.
closing arguments.
Members of the board, thank you so much for being here tonight. I think it's important that we remember why we are here. This hearing was about Mr. Warner's conduct, no one else's. It was about his failure to answer his city-issued cell phone during a very serious grade 1 gas leak in downtown Dyersburg. If this gas leak had not been, if other people of the gas department had not responded to their phone call, the cities of Dyersburg would have been in much deeper trouble. As by federal regulations, it has to be addressed, and it has to be downgraded to where it is not a substantial threat to human life and to property. What we have shown you today is that the city-issued cell phone of Mr. Warner's was contacted 3 times by Mr. Hammett, by Mr. Hunter, and by Mr. Henson. The obligation as the construction crew foreman is to have the city-issued cell phone on you for emergencies. When there is a serious emergency, it is not the duty of these men to call every number under the sun to try to contact you. It is your job to answer your phone and to come and report to duty. Further, we found out that they learned about the seriousness of the gas leak the next day, but yet no one was contacted to see what work might need to be done. And so with that, we ask that you sustain the decision to terminate Mr. Warner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, I'd like to thank you and board members for being here today and everyone in attendance. I never disputed whether they called my work phone or not. Never did. Nobody can say I did. I just said I didn't have it on me. I was never told I have to have that phone on me 24/7. I've been carrying that phone for almost 5 years. Never had an issue. Nobody ever told me. Like I said, the morning everything, I asked, why didn't you call my work phone? I don't have to. No, you don't have to, but if you needed the help, I believe I would have. I'd have called everybody I need. Everybody talks about conduct, safety. They've got a man that has been working for them for a few months. Driving multiple city vehicles. He's got a suspended driver's license. As of this morning, it's on the public website. He's got a suspended driver's license. To let that go. But since I missed a phone call, something Mr. Hunter has even told me he done when he was pulling call. He was on call, slept through the phone call. Somebody come to his house, got the truck, worked the call, took the truck back. I don't know if he was disciplined or not, but he wasn't fired. So he wants to fire me for the same thing he's guilty of. On call is on call. If you're on call, you're expected to answer the phone. We're told we're on call for a 7-day event in the rotation. You can ask my wife. I even take that phone, ladies, I'm sorry, to the bathroom with me. I don't go nowhere without it. I mow the yard, I've got it in my pocket with earphones in my ears. I don't go without it. Like I said, I never said we didn't get a phone call. I just said we never heard it. Never come through. Mr. Hunter, one time I was on call, sitting in my house on my couch. He called me on my personal phone. I said, Bubba, what are you doing? I said, I'm sitting at home. He said, you get that call? I said, the phone hasn't rang. And he told me about the call, and I went and done it. Where we live, you may get a phone call in one part of the house. You can go to the next room, and you won't get one. I don't know if y'all familiar with Findlay or not, or areas like that. You don't always get it. I never said they didn't call my phone. I said it didn't show up on my phone. The next day, when we found out about the gas leak, we looked. It was not on there. I didn't say they didn't call it. If they call a phone, the hub will show that call. But they can't prove if it come through the phone or not, or no, only someone answered. Never seen the phone calls. I had my personal phone on me, what they've called several times in the past, and they didn't do it. Another thing they talked about in my dismissal letter, that they called me pockets, because I had my hands in my pockets. Y'all mind if I approach? No one got my hands in my pockets? I have a disease, a progressive disease called duplicate contraction. That's as high as I can open my hand. That's it, Coach. That's it. I wish you could jerk them and open them up. I'd love you for it, but it's not gonna happen. It's just a genetic disease where the tendons are adhering to the palms of my hands. There is a surgery you can get to alleviate it, but there is no cure. It will come back. My hands are in my pockets. Yeah, if it's cold outside, yeah. I can't wear gloves. And it is a progressive disease, means as time goes on, it gets worse. What didn't bother me 3 years ago, I can't do now. And call it vanity, silly, whatever you want to. But if I'm around people, I've got my hands in my pockets or behind me, or I don't want nobody looking at them. I'm ashamed of them. I can't help it. But it's just, man being a man. And since then, I have been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Mr. Hunter knows that. I went to bed one Sunday night. I was fine. I woke up Monday. I couldn't walk. And I'm still going to a specialist, rheumatoid arthritis and osteoporosis specialist in Memphis, trying to get that under control. So, it's taken my job, lost my insurance, which, even Miss Sue said they paid me. And they did. For my accrued time off and everything. But they also took out all my insurances and everything except my medical insurance. They didn't pay it. Had a doctor's appointment the next day. That was expensive. If they're going to pay all that, why not pay it all? So me going somewhere else and getting another job, I can't pass the physical. I'm almost 59 years old, rheumatoid arthritis, and tore up hands. I ain't going to pass physical nowhere. Once again, thank y'all for coming in, hearing it. Thank everyone in the back.
Thank you. Is it appropriate for me to ask a question?
Yes, sir. In fact, Mayor, if the board has any questions of any witnesses, the board can ask any questions that they want to.
Okay.
Certainly, Mayor, you can ask any questions that you want to.
Okay, so with your condition, were we made aware of that? Do we know that?
Yes.
You reported that to Sue Teague? Is it in your file?
Michael Hunter knew it, all my conditions. When we first started, when I hired in, remember we had the palm scanner, right? For a time clock? Guess what? I can't do it. He had to write me in and out every day. Yes, he was aware of it.
But my question is, has Ms. Teague been made aware of that and is in your file?
I don't know, that would be him to do.
Ms. Teague, you know anything about that in his file? Anything? No?
I mean, I would check his claims, and he would file his claims with his medical insurance.
Right. But there's no doctor's thing?
He's not asked for any FMLA or anything that I'm aware of, or anything.
No, I've been, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Can I?
Yeah.
No, I have not been on FMLA. The week that I was suspended, I missed one day of work with pneumonia. I come back to work. I'm not on FMLA. I've always made a living with my hands, cotton mill, railroad, gas park, always active in sports, and all that's come to an end. So finding gainful employment, man, I'm taking shots right now, it's $3,800 for shots. And that's every 3 months with insurance. So now that I have none, you know, they've taken my insurance, my livelihood. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Any board members have any questions? Coach Cole?
Sir, Coach.
When were you aware that you were gonna be going to a funeral?
The funeral was on a Saturday. So I wasn't aware that I was gonna have to miss work. I probably found out maybe Thursday. But I think I know what you're getting at.
Mhm.
It's something I should have had to notify work for because I was off anyway. You don't know when an emergency is gonna happen.
All right.
Mr. Hunt, you made, one of the gentlemen made a statement about, his behavior on the job.
Yes.
Have you ever had a conversation with him about his behavior on the job?
Yes.
And what was the outcome? What was the outcome?
Really made no difference.
No. Was he put on probation?
He was never reprimanded with any kind of written thing. We have had several conversations, but never did get him. We tried to give Mr. Warner all the leeway we could give him. So there are several incidences the board hadn't heard anything about, that he probably should have been terminated when they happened. There's 2 different incidences. One where he threw fireworks in the hole, the guys working on the gas line, up under their feet when they're down in there working. Should have been terminated at that time.
So what you're telling me is that this is the first time you have made it known that there was a behavior problem.
No, he did receive 3 days off.
That's what I need.
Only one.
Only once.
Okay. For that 3 days off was for first occurrence of horseplay. And if you look in your handbook, horseplay, I think it's first occurrence written reprimand. And I didn't say anything about that. Or reprimand. And I got 3 days. And like I said, Mr. Hunter has had me terminated for the exact same thing that he done. I don't know if it was written up or suspended or what, but he told me it happened.
All right, thank you.
In the exhibit book that I gave the alderman, there is his formal reprimand of the firecracker incident, and there are 2 supporting, what Ms. Suti took of her evidence of the people who reported it. So
Okay.
he has been formally, suspended for 2 days, I believe that was prior.
Okay.
No, ma'am, it was 3 days for the first occurrence of horseplay. And I've not heard anything else.
All right. Yeah, any other questions?
So the horseplay, it was involving fire where there's gas? Is that?
No, there was no gas. No gas.
What was
going
a
on.
gas employee doing in a pit?
We often dig holes and everything else, dig up valves or anything. There was no gas leak
There were gas lines there.
in the vicinity.
All right.
May have clarify a little bit of stuff on our behavior with the deal. He was not called on his personal phone. He had made several comments. I'd responded, he's not coming in after hours anymore, he's not coming in on weekends, he's not coming in on holidays. So when we attempted to call his work phone that he's responsible to answer, he didn't, we figured he's not coming in. We had gas blowing in dangerous situations, we didn't spend any more time trying to get lost out there.
As I understand this, Mr. Warner is a construction crew foreman. Okay.
Third in line in the rank in the gas department.
Okay, if you'll read in your packet, there's a whole bunch of bank statements in there where I have worked over, come in extra. I've even come in extra doing someone else's job to get them caught up. It was supposed to have been 4 of us come in on 2 different occasions. I was the only one showed up to help someone else in someone else's job. So it's saying I'm not gonna come in, no. They can never say a time that I got in contact with that I didn't come in.
Mr. Warner, you issued a company, city vehicle? Do you,
Sir?
are you issued a city vehicle? Do you have one that you drive?
Never leave work.
Okay. You can look right here, I got the same thing you do. I've had 2 surgeries.
Come back, yeah.
You're not gonna get rid of it, but I can barely put my hand in my pockets. I understand the part that you would like to hide them, but I can't, my finger right here won't bend, and I can't keep it in my pockets. I don't know if that's, and I know the severities are different. Yours may be a whole lot worse than mine.
They said the way it has progressed, there is a surgery, as you know, that will alleviate it. It's not curable. And they said as fast as mine is progressing, they don't recommend the surgery.
Okay. Well, I'm also gonna say this, in my job, and I still have a job where I work, I'm an hourly paid worker, go to work. I only work now part-time, but if we have a company-issued phone, we know that that phone is for company business when they need us. I don't know that they've ever directly told us, but if the company is supplying you a phone, we know that if they, we need to keep that phone with us at all times.
I've never been told that, Rick.
Well, we haven't either, but if the company is going to provide us a phone, I'm just saying, now, I hate to use the word common sense, but that phone is for emergencies.
And city usage, right? Or company usage. When I'm at work, I've got that phone on me. It's the last thing I put on when I leave the house, and when I get home, I take it off. It's right there in the bedroom with me. I've never been told I had to have that phone on me 24/7. We have some people, against the handbook, use their cell phone as their personal phone. I don't do that. But I've never been told I had to have it on me 24/7. Just like I've never been told I was on call 24/7. Just like I said, state Tennessee says if you're on call, you have to be compensated. If you're gonna fire me because I was on call and didn't answer a phone, so we're gonna talk about the last 4.5 years I had that phone, I wasn't compensated.
All right. Do I?
Can I ask you one question? Mr. Warner?
I'm gonna leave it up to the attorneys. No, you cannot. So we're ready to move on, I take it. You've heard both.
I've been trying my best to get a chance to ask.
Okay, go ahead.
I agree with most of this that's going on, but if he, I think it's you took it to an extreme to terminate him when you could have given him a warning slip. And you could have made it 3 days, 7 days, 12 days, 21 days. But for his wife just sat here and said the phone didn't ring at home. He said it. And you said you didn't call him one time. that's an extreme, that's extreme to terminate. In most situations, you should have given them a warning slip, some time off, and told them if he did it again, he was fired. That's what I feel about this. Somebody may get mad at me for saying it, but the truth is the truth.
Thank you, Mr. Baltimore. Let me reiterate, there's 3 cases of missed phone calls, correct? You had 3 exhibits, is that right? Okay, so I just want to correct that for the record. 3 times he was called, okay? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's,
By Mr. Hammett, by Mr. Henson, and by, Mr. Hunter.
And they all testified to that, Mr. Baltimore.
Okay.
all right.
And like I said, I never said they didn't call that phone. I just said I didn't hear it. I wasn't in contact with the phone.
All right, let's, we've heard from both sides. City attorneys have asked us to sustain decision of determination. It's up to this board. I'd entertain a motion either way to do what the board's wishes are. Motion to sustain the decision of termination? All right, sustain it? Okay, we have a motion to sustain the termination of Mr. Warner. Is there a second? Rick Crawford. Is there a second? Second, Edward Burks. All in favor say aye. You can.
Mr. Baltimore? I pass.
You abstain?
I pass.
Okay, you abstain, okay.
Sustain. Vote call?
No.
Rick Crawford?
Sustain.
Now, let me make sure, when we're sustaining, we're saying yes, right? I'm confused. Mr. Baltimore,
Sustain means you agree.
you agreed, so you're voting,
I vote no. Let me say no then.
okay, all right. I'm sorry, Mr. Recorder.
Okay, that's fine.
Edward,
Sustain.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Coach Cole, I'm sorry, go ahead. Okay.
Mayor?
Yes.
Ricky Hammond?
Yes.
Joey Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Thank you all. The rest of the agenda, report from Alderman, Mr. Baltimore. Edward. Coach Cole. Rick. Ricky.
Yes, Michael had and this may not be one of your guys, but, one of my coworkers was in an accident last Friday, Last Friday, and, it was over here, maybe on Lake Road, was it?
Finley Street, Lake Road.
Finley Street and Lake Road. She was T-boned. She said that a city truck stopped and checked on her and gave her a bottle of water. And I'd like to find out, if y'all find out, I see Greg back there, and make sure we appreciate, that's something that he's not required to do, I don't think. He just did that because he's, he was concerned. Well, if we don't find him, fine, but I just want to know, I just want to tell you that we appreciate people going out of their way to help others when it's not in their job description. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Anything else, Ricky? Joey? Joe?
report.
Vanetta? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.